for tonight, I guess. Obviously, a very disappointing outcome for our team. The story of the game, of course, was their pitcher. We just couldn't solve him. We thought we had a good game plan for him. We worked for a couple of days on the type of pitcher he was. As soon as we knew who we were playing on Monday, we watched a lot of film on him, and he's just was such a unique style of pitching. We haven't faced a guy like that all year. You wonder how he's been so successful, because he obviously doesn't have overpowering stuff. I think he topped out at like 85 miles an hour. His curveball was really, really slow. And, you try to school your team, your hitters, on what you're going to face, but until they get in the batter's box, it's really difficult to mimic what you're going to face. And we tried to, and the kids worked real hard all week trying to prepare for this kid. But he's done this to everybody he's pitched against all year. He was the conference pitcher of the year, and he pitched a no-hitter earlier this year. He's shut out teams, and we just didn't get a lot of good swings against him. We had the one great chance early in the game when Dylan led off with the triple. And, Gavin hit the ball pretty hard, but right at the third baseman with nobody out. So Dylan had to, hold his base there, which was smart base running. And then, we had a strikeout and didn't advance him there. And then we had a walk. And even when we had something good happen to us, a hit batter, it actually hurt us because Dylan couldn't score on the ball that went to the backstop. And then, of course, Giovanni crushed that ball to deep center field, and their kid made a nice running catch up against the wall. So, we have many chances, but when we did, we just couldn't capitalize. And that was the story of the game. Landon pitched his heart out. They were very scrappy offensively, just like I thought they'd be. They were very difficult to strike out, and they put some balls in play when they needed to, and they scratched a couple runs across. And that, when you don't score any runs, you just can't win. So that was really the story of the game. Very frustrating for us, but you tip your hat to their kid. He's a kid that makes the most of his ability, and, that was the story of the game.
All right, we're opening it up for questions. Media, if you want to use the raise hand function to get in line to ask a question, I will call on you, unmute your line, ask your question, and then remute your line. We will start with Wilson Alexander.
Paul, you had said with Landon that y'all's approach was going to be to try to pitch to contact. Is that what you ended up doing? And did it change at any point, or is that the way he was pitching throughout this game?
Well, I think you can ask him, when he comes up here, but I thought Landon pitched his heart out like he always does. He only struck out, I think, 3 batters. So it was indicative of them, putting the bat on the ball. And, I thought he pitched well. They're line drive type hitting team. They hit the ball to the opposite field really well. I played the infield in after that leadoff triple because I just thought runs were going to be hard to get. And their kid Morrison, I think, went to the opposite field, and we left big holes because he had the infield in. The run would have scored if we had the runner we had the infield back anyway, but it ended up being a base hit. Again, you got to credit their kids. They had a really scrappy team, veteran team. They were well coached, and they were tough outs.
Next question, Glenn West.
Hey, Coach. You guys obviously wanted to use a whole bunch of left-handed hitters today to just try to get something going. Just talk about the strategy, I guess, of using all the left-handers, and just kind of what do you think, I guess, went wrong with the offense today? Do you think it was just more of a patience thing, or just guys not getting good swings on that?
First of all, I thought, Trey had one really good at bat there where he hit the ball in the 6th hole. Their shortstop made a nice stop, but wasn't able to throw him out. And I thought Giovanni crushed that one ball with the bases loaded. Will got hit by a pitch one time. The strikeout by Mitch, was a tough at bat for us there. You know, I thought he'd put that ball in play there and get us a run. It didn't happen for us. You know, the lefties didn't hit him much better than our righties did, but it's hard to describe. You know, I think you can ask Dylan when he gets up here. You know, he was such a unique kind of guy. You know, he's all arms and legs. He didn't throw hard. But he had a tight spinning curveball, and it's just this guy relied on deception a lot. And you know, like I said, if this was, you know, one time he did it all year, you'd think it was a fluke, but he's done this every game he's pitched this year. He pitched a no-hitter, a complete game no-hitter earlier this year against a really good Pepperdine team, and he's pitched shutouts all year. I mean, you got to give the kid a lot of credit. You know, I admire the kid. He's not a kid that's got a great arm and big pro prospect, but you know, he's found a way to get the job done. And you know, until you're standing in that batter's box trying to hit him, it's just kind of hard to describe. It's not a traditional, you know, hard throwing guy with really good stuff, but the kid he gets the most out of his ability, and he found a way to get the job done against us. It's very frustrating, but I think you have to give him a lot of credit.
Let's go back to Wilson Alexander.
Paul, y'all obviously had a long meeting out in the outfield after this. And what did you want to just tell your team with them now facing elimination tomorrow?
Well, you know, you go into the weekend, Wilson, with the idea of how important it is to win the first game, and we didn't win the first game. And so one of the things about not winning the first game is a quick turnaround, especially when you play the night game, you know, the first day. And now all of a sudden we got to play at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So we got a, you know, COVID test at 8 a.m. We got BP on the field at 10 or so, and then a 1 o'clock start. And Central Connecticut State has a really good ball club. I think they had 16 or 17 hits today against Oregon. Oregon was holding on for dear life there at the end. So we got a tough task tomorrow. And, you know, we can't sit around and feel sorry for ourselves. This game's over. We don't want to go home 0-2. So we got to get ourselves ready mentally, physically, and ready to go tomorrow. And I was trying to explain to them that, you know, you just can't sit around and mope about this. It's over with, and we got to turn the page and just take it one game at a time. And you start thinking about winning the tournament and how many games we have to win. It becomes a very daunting task. So let's not worry about that. Let's just take it one day at a time. Let's win tomorrow and then regroup again after the game, and then we'll worry about the next day. And I tried to explain that to a bunch of young kids that are really disappointed right now that they didn't win the opening game.
All right. Any other questions for Coach? All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.